Hi, I'm Dr. Ashley Fuller.
And I'm Dr. Meredith McClure.
And this is Labia Logic,
the podcast that's all vulva, no filter.
We're here to talk about all the stuff your doctor rushed through, the questions you've been too embarrassed to ask, and the sex ed that barely mentioned the vulva.
Because too many people are suffering in silence with painful sex, menopause misery, and vulvar issues no one talks about.
No shame, no stigma, just real talk, real answers, and the education you should have gotten in the first place.
Hello, happy holidays, and welcome back to Labia Logic. I'm Dr. Meredith McClure. With me, as always, is the amazing Dr. Ashley Fuller, and we're here to celebrate the holidays.
Happy holidays from us at Labia Logic.
We'd like to bring to you the holiday spirit in vulva form.
Yes, we're going to do a little Santa checking his list and thinking about vulvas.
Absolutely. We know the holidays can be stressful, and they can be stressful to your vulva and your vagina. So let's try to de-stress and come up with some ideas and some of our favorite things for you to use this season to help your vulva.
Yeah, we want to think about the things that we love to recommend to patients, the things we may use ourselves, things we haven't ever tried, but we think, well, damn, that's a good idea. Like, we should talk about that or look into that. I think November and December are very stressful months. And if you're a person who has vulvar pain or vaginal pain or chronic pain of any type, we know that stress plays a role in that. And I definitely think that these stressful months, they are harder. So just want to acknowledge that and say, please take your time for yourself if you're someone who deals with any kind of pain or chronic pain. Some self-love, some time for self-care to get through these months that can be very joyous, but also very, very stressful.
Yeah, I agree. Then why not have a little fun while we're at it in Christmas garb?
Yes. So if you can see us, you're going to like it. And if you can't see us, you're missing out. We just have fun, holiday gear on. So it's really not missing that much. But
it's a vision, though, in and of itself.
It's a vision. Where should we start, Meredith? What do you want to talk about?
Where's the first place Santa starts? It's your stocking.
Yeah, stocking stuffers.
Yeah.
For the vulva and the vagina. Now, these may be things you want to buy for yourself. I mean, this may be an episode you want to send to your partner or a loved one, somewhere you're like, hey, some hints for me. This may be the kind of thing you're like, oh my God, these doctors are the silliest thing I've ever heard. Either way, wherever you're at with this, although we are being silly, some of these are really great products. And actually, I think some of these are really, really helpful. So, but let's talk about stocking stuffers. What should we put in that stocking?
Well, we're going to look at basically things at the outside, so the surface level, which, of course, you and I always say, if your problem's on the outside, be sure and tell your doctor it's on the outside and it's not in your vagina so that they look at the right spot. So we're talking about the vulva here.
Yes.
So we love things on the vulva to protect it, things like a moisturizer.
There's a lot of moisturizers that I like. I like some good old-fashioned Aquaphor, although there's lanolin in there, so if you're allergic to lanolin, don't use it.
Mm-hmm.
I like good old-fashioned Vaseline.
Yep.
I know you like CeraVe.
CeraVe Healing Ointment is a good one.
Yep. I like some vulva balm or V-Magic. It's beeswax, olive oil, vitamin E oil, real all-natural stuff, but just kind of creates a nice barrier that is very soothing and moisturizing.
And steer clear of creams, please.
Yeah, creams often have alcohol in them. So we're saying moisturizers, but these are often barrier protectants too. So kind of a mixture of the two, but something that moisturizes and kind of protects the skin.
Yeah. And then if it tends to lean a little more towards the wet side on your vulva, maybe it's urine and you're wearing pads or sweating or things like that, you can use things to kind of dry it out, like a barrier paste, like a Desitin or zinc oxide, any variety of zinc oxide that suits you.
Do you know what I learned the other day? A patient told me that the V-Magic vulvar balm, the way I show patients, it's in a little container that you put your fingers in. It comes in a large chapstick form also that you can travel with. That is a perfect stocking stuffer.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. Because then you can just put it on when you're in the bathroom, wherever you are. Love it.
Yeah. That's amazing. As far as washing at the holiday season, would we stuff our stockings with washes?
We would not put a lot of washes or antibacterial wipes or any of that in there. We might put a peri bottle.
Love.
Right, because then you can get some water on the vulva to clean it off without having to wipe more aggressively. Probably wouldn't put a lot of wipes in there either, even travel wipes. Although if you're going to use, we talked about what are they called? The water wipes.
So yeah,
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 yeah.
those are fine
So if you're going to do the wipes, that's the way I would go.
for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
but if you are especially have an itchy, scratchy vulva, we don't want you scratching it more than necessary. So, and we all know scrubbing is scratching.
Yeah. Other things that would go in the stocking, I think some really nice cotton underwear.
Hmm.
So maybe with little Santas on them or, little lights, something
Yeah.
like that. So I think that could be kind of fun. But yeah, really plain, really boring, or exciting, but still cotton. Those tend to be the most comfortable. I also am a big fan of period underwear. I think period underwear could be great. Pads can be really irritating. Sometimes I look at a vulva and I think, do you wear pads all the time? And I realize that they do because they're leaking or they're having spotting all the time from something that else is going on. And I think pads can be very irritating. So period underwear, I definitely think can be a really great thing for the vulva.
Yeah, I think that's great.
One of the things you could actually put in there, and you knew that we were going to talk about this in this episode, because what is the thing that Meredith and I love the most for the vagina and the vulva?
Vaginal estrogen.
So you could put estrogen in a nice little, you could put some vaginal estrogen cream in a little sachet bag, and you could just put it in your stocking, something like that. I mean, it's a gift to yourself, kind of. I mean, if someone else is going to get it for you, it is the gift of long-lasting moisture, elasticity, responsiveness. It is amazing. So I definitely think you could put some vaginal estrogen in your stocking or, under the tree. It can go anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, it is a prescription, so it probably would be a gift to yourself.
This is true.
Yeah. So, I mean, if we're following the rules. So, yeah, so vaginal estrogen is the best. And if maybe you want to gift it to someone else, maybe just kind of leave them an IOU and tell them, let's go to your doctor and talk about that.
Yeah, that's a great idea, especially since the FDA dropped the black box warning. Maybe people are less scared. A little hint, hint, like, hey, you should check this out. Vaginal estrogen is for almost everybody, so it is a great thing.
Yeah. Our family, we talk about this all the time. So they would not be offended by hey, I'm going to make sure you get a vaginal estrogen prescription. We encourage everyone to talk about vulvas and vaginas in just this way. And this is normal body parts. If your mom, your grandma, aunt, whoever, somebody you love is getting UTIs.
Yes.
God, get some estrogen in her vagina.
Get some estrogen there.
Yeah. Have Santa drop it off.
Yes. Yes. Other moisturizers, we talked mostly about barrier creams, I think, and vulvar creams. If we don't want to move a little more inward into the vagina, other things that could go on the stocking or under the tree are kind of more like hyaluronic acid moisturizers. So Replens, Refresh, Reverie. There's other brands out there, but these are things that are kind of like face moisturizer. They just create more moisture. They're really great for the vagina. They are not estrogen, but they give you a lot of extra moisture and they can be really nice and helpful.
This could go under the tree. It could go in your stocking, on a travel case, whatever, but lube.
Oh, lubricant. I love lube.
Everybody needs lube.
Everybody needs lube. I mean, some young people don't, but I definitely think lube never makes anything worse.
God, no. Unless it's too much.
Unless it's too much, but I mean, that doesn't happen that often.
Yeah. And if it's silicone, don't use it in your shower because that is a recipe for disaster.
Oh, yeah. Probably gets the floor really slippery, huh?
Yeah. So we got water-based, you got oil-based, and your silicone-based lubes. And just remember with lube, what do you do with lube? You put it on yourself, on your vulva, on your vagina, and then you want to put it on anything that's going in the vagina.
Anything that's going in. So if you are using toys or anything else that's not a human thing to put inside, then if it's a silicone thing, a lot of vibrators and things like that can be silicone based. You don't want to use a silicone lubricant on there. The silicone cancels each other out and it can break it down. So that's where you'd want to use oil or water-based lubricants. I personally love silicone. I find that, especially for postmenopausal or perimenopausal or have some dryness, the water-based lubricants are awesome, although people tend to think that they're the more natural type. They tend to dry out because we actually absorb some of the water and they get sticky and then it kind of hurts more. I like the silicone-based one. I like the oil-based ones.
Uber Lube has the cutest little travel size things. They're actually super cute. You can pick your colors. You can make it festive. It's great. Not the color lube, but the container that the lube comes in.
Yeah, Uber Lube stocking stuffers.
Because we don't want you to get lube that has other stuff in it.
Right. No. Yeah,
Glitter.
there's lubes. Glitter are the ones that are like the hot and the cold. Like, I don't know about that.
Might live to regret that one.
Yeah.
Stick with the plain stuff.
The other way we could go with things you could put under the tree are some products that are not so much moisturizers, lubes, those kind of things, but things for your pelvic floor.
Let's work on into sexual health and pleasure.
Yeah.
What could you put under the tree for that?
I can think of a lot of things. We haven't had a episode on vibrators yet.
Oh, but we will.
Oh, but we will. Just to remind everyone that January is about orgasm. Oh my God, it's January. So you're going to want to stay tuned for that. So, but we definitely will talk more about vibrators. But I think vibrators are great. The preview here is that they are really helpful to help achieve orgasm. Most women cannot orgasm from intercourse or penetration alone. They need some clitoral stimulation. So adding a vibrator into the mix is great. And it can be for solo pleasure or partnered pleasure. And I think there's a lot of great vibrators out there. I don't have a particular kind. I think it's whatever you like. Some of my patients who have skin conditions like lichen sclerosis or have less clitoral sensitivity for whatever reason, I do like the Lilo Sona that has the sonic waves, the sonar, because it can actually stimulate a little bit deeper. So that's another one of the ones I like. It's a little bit different than a lot of the vibrators.
And you can use vibration, there's suction ones, like it's just kind of whatever works for you.
Definitely a lot of options. There's high-end vibrators and lower-end vibrators. But again, I think it's fun to try the different ones and see what you like.
And vibration is important. And it's the one nerve ending that kind of never goes away on that part of the body. You know, hot and cold and light and deep pressure, those will kind of fade over time because, you know, nerves and blood vessels do kind of do that, fade over time. But vibration really never goes away. But then a lot of people will use vibration as tools in just pain and desensitization. And so you will find it in some of the like vaginal dilators or even a pelvic wand. Like the Kiwi is a great one. Millie Dilator has a vibrating version. You know, just using vibration can really kind of desensitize and kind of cause a relaxation, I feel, for a lot of people in the pelvic floor when we're really trying to kind of introduce something into the vagina and kind of train these muscles to calm down and relax and elongate.
It's kind of like a massage chair for the vagina, relaxing those muscles.
Yeah.
It's good.
We love some vibration all around.
Dilators and pelvic wands can also be great. Meredith mentioned some of the dilators have some vibration, but not all of them do. But I think those can also be helpful if your pelvic floor is tight or if you're having some pain with penetration and are working through some of that. Sometimes those kinds of things can be really, really helpful.
You can always gift the gift of expertise, shall I say, and maybe go see a pelvic floor physical therapist to treat yourself, or maybe go see, you know, a sex coach, sexologist, a sex therapist, somebody, you know, that really can kind of help guide you and get you to the goals that you want to achieve when it comes to your sexual health.
Yes, I think that's a great idea. That'd be a really nice gift. As long as you were open to it, you weren't like getting surprised by it. You know.
Yeah.
Some other libido ideas. There are some subscription ideas out there. I don't know if you've heard of Arya, Arya. I don't know a ton about it. They interview you and come up with a curated experience for you and your partner. And so it's like an idea of trying to how to spice things up in the bedroom, especially for people who've been together for a long time and are looking for something kind of new and exciting with their long-term partner. So some of those things I think are interesting, and I think ways to kind of spice things up and try something a little bit different or create a little bit of, I don't know, excitement or anticipation, those kinds of things. I definitely think there are other things like that out there. I haven't had any patients that have themselves done ARIA, but I think it's a really interesting idea. I find so much, like we talked about in our libido episode, that so much of libido for us is stress and fatigue, and the idea of having something else that's put on us that takes more time, like reading a book or going to the sex therapist, although it can be super helpful, just feels really hard in the moment. And so something that's easy and like creates some kind of, like I said, the anticipation or just makes it feel different in a way that's exciting, I think is a really good idea.
Yeah. Even like we've talked about in other episodes, you know, like you don't want to read an entire book. Like Dipsea, DIPSEA is a short story app that has erotica short stories. If you're kind of looking for an online education, OMG Yes is a great resource.
Literotica, another one. Literotica is an online amateur authors that's erotic literature, which I think is great too.
I've been seeing the romantasy happening up in the Target by me. I don't know if you have, but the Fourth Wing.
Oh yeah, I'm reading that. I'm not very far, but it's good. I haven't gotten to the really good parts yet, but I'm excited for it.
Yeah, my Target was pretty picked over. I'm not gonna lie.
I know. I'm excited about it.
I'm like, good on you, ladies. Good job.
Yes. One of my favorite things I have to say that I talk to patients about a lot is bidets. So we're kind of going into the bigger gifts here, like, the
Big tickets.
big ticket items that would be awesome. So if you have lichen sclerosis and you have perianal involvement in your lichen sclerosis, which some people do, I highly recommend a bidet because it makes it so you don't have to wipe as much. It uses water to kind of clean away the stool and make it so that you don't have to wipe as many times, which is great for that skin. It's already irritated and somewhat thinned out. There are some really nice fancy bidets out there. The Toto bidets, they're heated seat, remote control, heated water. They're a little bit life-changing. I only say because I have one. I highly recommend it. It's a big ticket item, but I promise you will not be disappointed by it. It is like something you use every single day, and it just brings some joy and some comfort.
And then you travel and you miss it. Kind of like you miss your fancy bed. You miss your fancy toilet.
Yeah, you sure do. You sure do. If you haven't used one, it also has some kind of like electronic thing that takes away scent so it doesn't stink things up. No, I'm totally serious. And it's like if you go somewhere that doesn't have that, you're kind of like shocked for a moment. You're like, wait, what is this? I mean, maybe I'm not, but I mean, some people would be.
Is it like a suction?
No, it electrolyzes it. It like secretes something that like electrolyzes the scent. You'd have to look up exactly what it does. It's a little bit outside of the vulva range of topics. So I can't give you the exact science on it, but it's actually really great.
So, the more you know.
The more you know.
I was at a conference like over 10 years ago and we all came down for the meeting, apart and it was kind of like everybody was whispering. And like one of my old partners was there. And I was like, is your toilet seat heated? Because mine is. She's like, no, like, what are you talking about? And then they stood up at the podium and they're like, for those of y'all on the even floors, you have heated toilets. For the odds, they're not there yet. And I looked at my partner and I'm like, yeah, it sucks to be you. Because it was wonderful. It was really
It's wonderful.
It really is. Like,
yeah, especially if you live somewhere cold.
Yeah.
Anyway, I didn't mean to talk about bidets so long. You get me going about it. But it can be a really, really, really big ticket item. It doesn't have to be. There are like less expensive bidets. I do think they're really great, especially if you have perianal involvement or if you just want to wipe less.
Yeah.
Any other big ticket items we should make sure we talk about?
I mean, some of the vibrators can be expensive for sure. Obviously, a really good pelvic floor therapist can be expensive because they can't keep their lights on if they take insurance, unfortunately, in this healthcare system. So,
yep.
But I'm trying to think if there's any medications that we prescribe that are really expensive. Good old vaginal DHEA can run you a penny.
Yeah, vaginal DHEA, which is the precursor to both estrogen and testosterone. So it changes into those in the vaginal cells. It's called Interosa is the brand name. It's very expensive. The cheapest I can get it is $90 at Costco. For patients, and I prescribe it there quite a bit, and it's just expensive. I wish it wasn't so expensive.
But boy, is it the best.
It's good. I mean, Imvexi, though, is my other favorite, though.
Also pricey.
$45 a month. I guess it's obvious, but one of my patients told me the other day, I love the name, Imvexi. I'm so sexy. That's what they're trying to say. And it's like, I mean, I guess it's kind of obvious that it means that, or, that they're like insinuating that, but I guess I hadn't really like put it out there that way.
Yeah.
But I'm Vexy. I'm so sexy. Yes, I do like that product quite a bit.
And then even some of your other vaginal estrogen, like Estring, which is a vaginal ring that just treats your vagina. You don't need to use a progesterone if you have a uterus. It's just local. That can be expensive, but it's quite delightful. And then the Fem ring, which will treat your hot flashes and your night sweats and your vagina. It's like one-stop shop. You do need progesterone if you have a uterus with the Fem ring, but those could be pretty pricey, but they're pretty wonderful. And then there's a couple other meds that are FDA approved for premenopausal women for libido. Those are pricey.
Yeah, we talked about those in our libido episode. So bremelanotide or Vyleesi, an injectable medication for libido, FDA approved for premenopausal women, and then flibanserin or Addy. Also there, those are expensive, and I wish they wouldn't because you know what isn't expensive? Viagra. I'm just saying.
I watched the Pink Pill movie last night. It was good.
Oh, I want to see that.
Yeah, it was good.
I'm sure it is. There are a lot of double standards.
Great story.
I'm going to have to watch that.
No.
Is there anything we should make sure you don't buy?
Yeah. If you find coal in your stocking, it's because you were on the naughty list and you put something on your vulva or in your vagina that is not good. I'll just say one, and that's the freaking Jardiance.
As the diabetes medication that makes you pee maple syrup and gives you yeast infections.
And it's not your fault. If you were given this medicine and got a yeast infection, it's not your fault.
It is not your fault.
But boy, is it nasty.
Yeah. Anything scented. Your vagina is not supposed to smell fancy. We have an odor episode. Vaginas have a smell. That's what they smell like. They're not supposed to smell like a candle.
Yep. Sorry, Kardashians.
Yeah. I mean, we just did an episode about some of this stuff. Or I think it's actually coming up next, or this month about
vulva glow-ups and
vulva glow-ups. So this episode's probably interrupting the vulva glow-up. But
stay tuned.
Stay tuned for that. So a lot of things that you shouldn't try on your vulva.
But don't use yoni eggs.
Yeah. Don't steam your vagina. So don't put those under the tree for anybody else either.
Yeah. And like all the little girls going to Sephora and getting the bath bombs.
Oh, yeah.
Nope. Don't do that.
Don't do it. The bath bombs are not great for the vulva.
If your daughter is having issues on the vulva, again, just go with the good old Aquaphor, CeraVe, barrier creep, that stuff. That's what you want to go for them.
Yeah.
Another thing you don't want to put on your vulva and your vagina, Monistat.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one to mention. Like, if you think you have a yeast infection over the holidays, don't go pick up the Monistat to try to deal with that because it's a really irritating antifungal and a lot of people have allergic reactions to it.
Yeah. And especially the one day.
Yeah, don't do it. It's like a bomb in there.
Not holiday cheer.
Not holiday cheer. No, it may help your itching, but it's going to give you a whole different level of irritation. It may not help at all. It may make things worse. Things you might want to think about if you're traveling, a little travel kit. First of all, I would to try to help prevent all this stuff, any badness down there. I would try to hydrate. If you get dehydrated, you can be more likely to get a UTI. And I'm just thinking about sitting in a plane all day and, vulva irritation and stuff like that. So wearing comfortable clothes, comfortable underwear, those kinds of things. If you are traveling, you could have little lube packets or like the things we're talking about for travel. Can go with you. That kind of stuff, I think, can be nice to take with you on trips.
Yeah. If you're escaping cold weather and going to the beach, don't sit in your wet bathing suit all day.
Don't do it. Yeah. Take it off, put something else on, have a change of clothes. It's a good idea. Because, again, what Meredith said, you don't want to get a UTI or a yeast infection on vacation. It kind of ruins it.
For sure.
All right. So of the things we love the most, do you have like some favorites, like our favorite things? I mean, we talked about a lot of things.
Favorite always, time and time again, is going to be vaginal estrogen and other vaginal hormones. Lube.
Yeah.
Barriers, emollients, things like the CeraVe, things like that.
So pretty much everything we've talked about.
Not on the naughty list, though.
Everything not on the naughty list. So I'll say bidets because clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And vibrators because pleasure matters. And having, I think some of the reasons we think we don't want to have sex is because, it just takes so long to get into it, like that kind of thing. Because I think it's hard for us to get there mentally and physically sometimes. And I think vibrators can really help that. So especially in the holidays when your to-do list is like super long and the gift list is long and you got to wrap the presents and plan the meal and do all the things us women do. The vibrator is great.
Yeah. 'Tis the season to love your labia.
Yeah. And love yourself and all those things. 'Tis the season for it. Well, thanks for being here. We wish you all a happy holidays, and we hope that you are able to celebrate with people you love and do things you love, and we hope you have a healthy and happy vulva for all of it. Thanks for joining us for this episode of Labia Logic.
We get it. Sharing a podcast like this might feel a little taboo, but we're here to break down those barriers. Labia Logic's all about empowerment, not embarrassment.
If you found this episode helpful, we hope you share it with others who could use a little labia logic in their lives. Can't we all? You can find us on all major podcast platforms and connect with us on Instagram at labia_logic.
From our lips to yours,
Viva la vulva!